Hello everyone. Today we will see the theory of games, or we can say it's a game theory. Now this game theory is invented by scientist Junior von Neumann in 1928. After that he and Morgenstern derived a new theory which is also known as theory game theory, or we can say theory of games and economics. After that it take it applied for the different applications. Now let's see what is this theory of games, or we can say game theory. Now this is the theory which is used to take the decision in a competition. Now you might have seen there are n number of competitors are there. If you consider any example, so let's say take example of cars. Clear? Now, if you observe the Indian market situation, then you will find there are various manufacturers are there. Clear? For example purpose, I am taking like Maruti or Hyundai, or we can say Tata. So every manufacturer, they will take some decision for the future. Clear? Now, if you observe in each segment, if I consider the segment like 3 lakh to 5 lakhs, then every manufacturer having their own one car in this segment, at least one car. Now, if you observe the cars, then all car having different functionality. It's having different shape and different specifications, different colors, different looks. So when they want to manufacture, then how to get the decision? So if I want to take as a manager, I want to take one decision, that is how much quantity the car we must manufacture. If I consider specific one, clear? So if you consider any model, then if you want to manufacture, then what quantity we need to manufacture, how to take the decision, because in the market if you observe there are different competitors are there, we don't know their strategy. If I'm working for one x company, let's say there is a x company is there, and if I'm working for this company, then how to take decision, what quantity we must manufacture, this all decision can be taken with the help of the game theory. Now this game theory will give you the idea that what will be the profit for one competitor if you consider the two competitor. Now this game theory can be applied for two person or multiple competitors also. Now this theory is also useful for the different fields like business, industry, economics, or sociology and military training also. Now if war between two countries are going to happen, then how to take the decision, clear? So that entire situation can be done, or solution can be taken through with the help of the this game theory. Clear? So it's having a different characteristics also. So first we will see the different characteristics of game. Now the first characteristic is there are finite number of participants. Finite number of participants. Now if you take the example of chess, then if you observe there will be two opponent or competitors will be there. Clear? If you consider the cricket, then there are 11 individuals are there, 11 players for one team, another 11 players will work for another team. So if you observe that game, it's having a finite number of participants. If number of participants is 2, then it is also known as a two-person game. And if number of participants is more than 2, then it is also called as a n-person cherry. Clear? Next is each participants has available to him list of finite number of possible courses. Clear? So we can say finite number of courses of action. Courses of action. We can say the strategy that individual will have a finite number of different course of action. So if I consider a player A, now this competitor must have a different finite number of plan or course of action. So let's say L, M, N. Now this player A is having these 3 number of course of action. Clear? So this is one of the characteristics of the game. Third one is each participants known as a possible choices available to the others, but don't know which of them is going to chosen by them. Now here what I have considered, I have considered player A only, but what we consider that there should be n number of finite number of participants. Let's take example of there are two participants A and B. Clear? Now here we know that there are different possible course of action, that is L, M, N. Likewise for B also we must know there are different course of action of B, but we don't know which will he will apply or he will play. क्लियर? तो यहाँ पे क्या चाहिए हमें ये तो मुझे मालूम होना चाहिए कि कॉम्पिटिटर के पास कौन से डिफरेंट अवेलेबल आउटकम्स है, लेकिन उसमें से वो कौन से प्ले करने वाला है, दैट वी डोंट नो. क्लियर? सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द characteristics of the game. Now next is a play is said to be occur when each participant chooses the courses of action. So if I consider the game is on and if the play is started, which means the A person will choose one of the strategy. So he may choose M or he may choose N. If he select the any one of the strategy, then we can say the game is started. Now every combination of courses of action determines some outcomes. So definitely if you play, then there will be some outcome. That outcome may be a positive outcome, that outcome may be negative, or that outcome may be a 0. Clear? Suppose if this player A takes the M strategy, then that M strategy may have a positive output, may have negative, or we can say loss. Now this positive means we can say profit, or there may be a no loss or no profit, so there may be a 0 outcome. But if this game is having played, then definitely there will be some outcome. Clear? Now the gain of participants depends not only on his decision. I am recalling here as there are two participants are there. Clear? Now this particular A, now here I will consider one matrix. Clear? So let's say this player A is having different 3 strategies. Clear? So that is L, M, N. Now there are B player is there, it's having two different strategies. Now the outcome, it doesn't only because of he selected the strategy M, because there is one opponent, there is one competitor, he may select P or Q strategy. Depending upon these two strategy, the gain or outcome of A will be depends. So यहाँ पे क्या है, अगर A कुछ प्ले कर रहा है स्ट्रैटेजी, उसका आउटपुट उसके स्ट्रैटेजी पे डिपेंड रहेगा क्या? नहीं, उसका अपोनेंट कौन सा है और वो कौन सी स्ट्रैटेजी प्ले कर रहा है उसके ऊपर भी उसका आउटकम डिपेंड रहता है. क्लियर. नाउ नेक्स्ट characteristic is the gain, or we can say pay off. Clear. Or we can say a gain for each and every play are fixed and specific in advance, and they are known to each player. Because here what I have right now, I have not entered any value. However, this entire payoff, we can say gain, loss, whatever is there, it is known to each competitor. Clear. Suppose if I write over here +2. Now here I am considering A is winner and B is loser. So here A is known that if he play the L strategy, then he will get +2. And then for B, definitely there will be P strategy and he will lose rupees 2. Clear. So this is known to both the player. Next and last is the player makes individual decision without direct communication. So there will not be any direct communication between these two opponents, two parties or two competitors. So these are the different characteristics of the game. So this must be included in the game theory or the theory of games. Now we will move further and see the game models. What are the possible game models? Clear. So first it is dependent upon the number of persons, as we explained earlier. If two persons are playing, then it is called as a two-person game, and if number of persons are more than two, then it is called as a n-person game. Clear. So it depends upon the how many number of participants are there. Next, that is sum of payoff. Now here if you observe, if the sum of payoff up to the different players is 0, clear, then the game is called as a zero sum, or we can also say constant sum game. Clear. Otherwise it is known as a non-zero sum game. Now let's see what is zero sum game. Now if there are two players are there, A and B, clear, and if both having one strategy, let's say A is having one strategy, B is having one strategy. Here if I write +2, then what will be there? A will win 2 and B will lose 2. So if you consider the net profit or net payoff, then it will become 0. क्योंकि जितना A ने गेन किया है उतना B ने क्या है किया है, लॉस हुआ है B को, तो टोटल पे ऑफ क्या हो गया मेरा 0. सो इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ zero sum or constant sum game. Clear. Now third is there, it is based on number of strategies. It is based on the number of strategy. If the number of strategies or moves, or we can also say the choices, or we can say the move is finite. So while learning characteristics, what I said, the choices or moves must be finite. Clear. So if A is having finite 3 number of choices M, N, L, then this is known as a finite game. इसी को क्या बोलेंगे हम, फाइनाइट गेम बोलेंगे. अगर there are n number of infinite choices are there, moves are there, then that game is called as a infinite game. Clear. So I hope you understand the what is game theory, what are the different characteristics and game model. Now we will see some definition which we use in the game theory. So let's say definitions of different terms. Now here I will explain some term. Now what is game? It's very easy. Game is nothing but it's an activity which will be played between people or involving more actions from one to each other, having set of rules which result in some gain. क्लियर? कोई भी जब हम गेम खेलते हैं उसमें क्या चाहिए, हमें कुछ तो गेन होना चाहिए, यही चाहते हैं ना. सो गेम इज नथिंग बट इट्स अ वन ऑफ द एक्टिविटी. देयर सिंपल डेफिनेशन आर देयर. नेक्स्ट इज प्लेयर. हु इज प्लेयर? each participant each participant is known as a player who plays the activity. That person is called as a player. So in game there may be two player or there may be n number of player. Next is a play. Play is nothing but it's a game is said to be occur. Game should be occur when each player chooses at least one of its course of action. So when we can say play, let's say are different choices are there, and this player is also having different choices. Whether we say play, no, yes, there are two players are there. This is the game. Let's say this is a game. So whether we can say play, no. When A chooses any one of the activity and when B chooses any one of the activity, and if it is occurring, then we can say it's a play. Clear? Next, strategy. Strategy is nothing but it's a predetermined rule by which a player will decide his course of action. So whatever I am explaining starting, that is LMN. What is this? These are the strategies of the player A. PQ. These are the predetermined strategy of B. Clear? So this is nothing but the strategy. So in that different strategies are there. First we will see the pure strategy. Now it is a decision rule to always select a particular course of action. So when we will see the some numericals, then you will get that what is pure strategy. So यहाँ पे क्या थे, अलग अलग एक्टिविटीज होंगे, लेकिन इसमें हम क्या करेंगे, we will select a particular course of action by decision rule. Then it is usually represented by a number which the course of action is associated. Then that strategy is called as a pure strategy. In line with next is a mixed strategy. Mixed strategy. Clear? So it is decision in advance of all play to choose the course of action for each play in accordance with some probability distribution. Now when any player plays any activity, clear, or any course of strategy, it is based upon some probability. Clear? So this is also called as a mixed type of the strategy. Now in line with optimum strategy. Clear? So the strategy that puts the player in most preferred position. यहाँ पे क्या बोलना चाहता हूं मैं, preferred positions. Then that strategy is called as a optimum strategy. Clear? Next definition is a zero sum game. So this point is also already explained. It is a game in which sum of payment of all players after the play of game is zero. So here we already seen that if A is having some positive value, then someone, let's say if two players are there, then B will lose that amount. Then if you take the sum of these all play, then the net payoff of the entire game must be equal to the 0. So that is called as a zero sum game. Next definition is two person zero sum game. What I have already explained, that is nothing but it's a two person, because in this activity there are two persons are there, A and B, and if you observe the net payment sum, it is equal to 0. That is nothing but it's a two person zero sum game. In this, if you observe, only one person are involved. Clear? And one person will get the benefit, other person will get losses. Then next is non sum game. Now here if you observe, there may be a third party and he may take all possible gain. Clear? So here if you observe, if there are two players are there, in that case some amount may get to A, some amount may lose by B. However, some amount it may pay to the third party. So that game is nothing but it's a non-sum non-sum game. Next is a payoff. Clear? So it is the outcome of the game. Payoff of or gain or game is nothing but it's a matrix. So here I will consider, let's say player A, it's having some matrix. Here I will write some value. Clear? So this is matrix, it is related to the player A. Now in this case, what I am reading this matrix I am reading that A is losing. So here if I write B, clear? So A is losing minus 3 rupees to B. So let's say this is strategy 1, this is strategy 2. If I consider strategy 1 for B, and this is strategy B. So if A plays strategy 1 and if B plays strategy 1, in that case what is happening? A having loss of rupees 3 to whom? To B. And if A plays strategy 1 and if B plays strategy 2, in that case what is happening? A is gaining how much? Rupees 4, and B is losing rupees 4. Clear? So for that purpose, if I write the matrix for A, then I can say A is losing, A is getting, again A is losing, A is getting. However, if I consider the matrix for B, if I want to write for the matrix of B, then how I can write? Here A is losing, but B is gaining. What about here? A is gaining, but B is losing. Here A is gaining, B is losing. Here A is loss, B is gain. Clear? So if you consider these two, this is the matrix for A and this is matrix for B. However, we will write in this fashion. Player A is always winner. So here I will consider minus 3, 4, 2, minus 2, and player B is always a loser. Clear? However, how I can read this statement value? Player A is losing rupees 3 and player B is getting rupees 3. How I can read this value for? A is gaining 4 rupees and B is losing rupees 4. Clear? So this is all about the different definition, different terms which we will use in the next discussion. Clear? Now I will consider one example. Okay? So from that also we will get to know that how the matrix we can write. Clear? So here I can say plus 4 plus 6 plus 3 and plus 5. Now here I will write player A strategy 1, strategy 2. Here I will write player B strategy 1 and strategy 2. Now this is the most important discussion I want to do over here. Here, if you observe only row A, that is, if this player A plays strategy first, in that case, what is happening over here? What is happening over here? How minimum, how much he will gain? So here I will write R minimum, irrespective of B strategy. B के strategy कौन से है? This strategy 1 and this is strategy 2. Irrespective of the strategy of B, if A plays strategy first, then minimum rupees of 4 profit will be there. Clear? यहाँ पे B कौन सा भी strategy play करने दो, प्लेयर ए को कितना मिनिमम मिलने वाला है? ₹4. अगर बी ए प्ले करता है, फर्स्ट स्ट्रैटेजी प्ले करता है सॉरी, तो ₹4 मिलने वाला है. अगर बी सेकंड स्ट्रैटेजी यूज करता है तो उसको ₹6 मिलने वाला है. लेकिन मिनिमम कितने रुपीज मिलने वाला है? 4. क्लियर? लाइकवाइज इफ ए प्ले स्ट्रैटेजी सेकंड, in that case minimum ₹3 will be there. How I can read this particular chart for B? So I can, how can I read this matrix? Then loss of ₹4, loss of ₹3, loss of ₹6 and loss of ₹5. Clear? I am writing this entire for B. तो यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे हम? I will consider column max. Now if this particular player B, if he plays strategy first, irrespective of player A फर्स्ट भी चॉइस स्ट्रैटेजी यूज कर सकता है या सेकंड भी यूज कर सकता है. इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ ए स्ट्रैटेजी, ए को कितना लॉस होगा? ए को लॉस होगा ₹4. क्लियर? अगर वो फर्स्ट स्ट्रैटेजी यूज करता है तो 4 लॉस होगा, सेकंड स्ट्रैटेजी यूज करता है तो 3 होगा, लेकिन मैक्सिमम लॉस कितना होगा? 4 का होगा. इसमें सेकंड स्ट्रैटेजी में कितना लॉस होगा? 6 का होगा. क्लियर? So this is nothing but it's a maximum losses, and these are the nothing but it's a minimum gain of player A. Clear? So हमें क्या करना पड़ता है? We need to analyze this thing and we need to find out the value of game. Clear? ये हमें पता करनी होती है. तो वैल्यू ऑफ गेम कैसे पता कर सकते हो? इसमें से मैक्सिमम कितना प्रॉफिट हो सकता है ए को, और इन दोनों में से मिनिमम लॉस कितना हो सकता है, उसकी वैल्यू हम निकालेंगे. तो उसको क्या बोल सकते हैं हम? इसको बोलते हैं मैक्स मिनिम, एंड इसको बोलते हैं, आई विल राइट ओवर हियर, इसको बोलेंगे हम मिन मैक्स. क्लियर? तो इन दोनों में से मिन मैक्स क्या है मेरा? 4, और इन दोनों में से मैक्स मिन क्या है? Max min, it is 4. So this 4 value is nothing but it's the value of game. Are you getting my point? This is the value of game. Clear? So if you ask me, sir, what is the value of game for player A? So that I can write +4. Then value of game for B, that will be a -4. How it comes? It is through the different rule. In next video we will see what are the different rules which is used for the theory of games. Clear? So I hope you understand what is the theory of games, who invented the theory of games, what are the different characteristics of the games, and we all already learned the different definitions of different terms. So this was the introductory session based on the theory of games or game theory. In next lecture we will see some of the numericals, or we can say rule for the game of theory. Thank you so much. If you like the video, then you can subscribe my channel. Thank you.